We'll see now if one can pull out away here in the third.
Griffin just having a terrific game. He's got 10 points and 2 rejections.
And his offense has matched the defensive effort today. He's been really just one of the best players on both ends.
I don't know if you can say enough about the job he's been doing in all aspects of the game. I mean, stuff in the stat sheet when you look at it.
Pierce is out there with Johnson. Then there's Cole Aldrich. And it's Rivers. And it's Crawford at the 2. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Doc Rivers. Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. Last time they came together was in Los Angeles, where they fell to the Clippers.
Probably their poorest defensive effort all season long. I mean, at home, that kind of D is not going to cut it. Never mind when you're on the road.
Hey, I don't know, guys. This may be all speculation. Perhaps they had a bad flight into town the night before, and we all know a rough flight in can lead to turbulence on the court.
A big group substitution here for the Clippers. Jordan, he's checked in for Aldrich. Griffin comes in for Paul Pierce. J.J. Redick's checked in for Jamal Crawford. And Paul subbed in for Rivers.
Hey, there's no denying it. DeAndre Jordan was a force on the boards last season. He led the league with 15 rebounds a game.
Redick can't hit the step-back jump shot.
And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
Yeah, heat check or not, I don't care how hot he may or may not be, he's not making that one. Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high, fantastic one-hand jam.
Nice way there, guys, to finish up that possession.
You know, talking about Jordan, very dominant, obviously, on the glass. Not only had the most rebounds, but gee, he also had the best rebound percentage at 32%.
And Kevin, I know you know that, but for our fans, that rebound percentage is the percent of rebounds a player could have grabbed, and that speaks to effort as well.
And that's a punch to the jaw. This game as tight as it can be, and he pulls something off that we might not even see in the All-Star game, Kevin.
But, Clark, I don't know that he planned it out too far in advance. That was one of those things that you know, just happened.
I think it was premeditated.
I really don't. I think that he's one of those guys that just plays off of instinct, and they don't mind him making those kinds of plays, even in a close game.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play. Guys, we're not through 3 quarters of play, but 6 lead changes already in this one.
Yeah, it's been a really good game for sure. I mean, it looks like it's going to stay tight throughout.
Yeah, competitive, and I think we all can agree that we thought this would be the type of game that would come down to the end.
Paul goes in, and he dunks it down.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
Heritage has a wide open look. It's good from long range.
First jam, the fans got a little extra show there.
That one definitely had something, you're right, extra on it.
I got to pick my jaw up off the floor after that one, guys. And you know what, just a little too much heat on that pass for him to come up with the steal.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that was going to be a tough catch for either one of them.
Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
Right around 3 minutes into the second half. And the wide open shot from Paul, and he's good on the 3-ball. Now it's a 3-point Los Angeles lead. 1:46 left in the third quarter. Holiday, no one around him. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
And they're just raining threes on both ends.
Boy, I love the answer. You come at me with the 3, I'm coming right back with my own triple.
You know, the defense was lax right there, and he's able to make them pay.
Well, at this point in his career, Clark, it's safe to call Chris Paul one of the all-time great point guards.
Yeah, without question. I mean, for a long time, it was hard to argue that Chris Paul wasn't the top point guard in the league. Even now you can make arguments for others, but Paul is always going to be in the conversation.
And guys, what a strange rookie campaign for Dougie McBuckets. I mean, he entered the draft as a polished sharpshooter. The Bulls traded up in the first round to get him, and he ended up playing 9 minutes a game over the course of last season.
And on the topic of Doug McDermott, one of the most decorated college players in recent history, and Clark, you called a lot of his games.
Yeah, enjoyed watching him play, and I still think he has a bright future. Just never found any real rhythm. Averaged only 3 points a game, but he didn't get much playing time. So look for him to bounce back in the years going forward.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
Snell from outside. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Snell's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Right side, Jordan. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And finished off by McDermott.
And that almost feels like 2 buckets coming off the steal like it did.
And especially the fact that it now ties the game. The lead was about to be stretched out, and instead, it's back even. And if they're smart, they can hold it for the last shot.
To me, that's got to be the target. Make sure you manage the clock effectively so you do get the last shot.
And back and forth we go. That bucket gives us another lead change.
Too many of those to count. These teams have matched each other shot for shot, play for play. It has been impressive.
To end the run, off target with that shot.
Attention Staples Center, please give a big round of applause for yours.
We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the fourth quarter. Chicago leading. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. So for Chicago right now, Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Butler teams have done Levy on the perimeter, and it's Rose in at the point guard position.
And there was a question of whether or not Derrick Rose would be able to get back to his former self. At times last season, you could see him back in that MVP form.
Los Angeles calls timeout. And at this point of the game, getting a break here, important for the teams to regroup. And for the players, this is where you have a chance to get rehydrated with Gatorade. Get ready to play strong to finish off the game. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Doc Rivers address his team. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get us stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
And stolen by Butler. And oh, here we go. Dunleavy's got it. The fast break chance. Rejected by Pierce. Gasol with the steal. The 9-foot shot. And again, Chicago. No good. And with Rose again, he showed flashes last season of his level of play, Clark, before the injury.
Yeah, exactly. And you hate to see any player go down with injuries, especially a talent like Derrick Rose. He still needs to show that he can regain that high level of NBA play for an entire season. I think that's just a matter of time, Kevin. Great screen that time by Crawford.
Bulls have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Back to Rose. Stolen by Rivers. Clippers moving the ball around. Here's Crawford, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Crawford's got it all tied up now for the Clippers.
Yeah, great post position. That's going to be key here in crunch time.
Rose attacking, and it's good. Fought through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
He's had an off game thus far, but his team has been able to pick up the slack and find a way to get it done here.
Derrick Rose, unbelievable spirit. We know about his toughness, has fought through injuries of all kinds that might cause a lesser competitor to hang up his sneakers.
And competitor, that's the word, Kevin. I mean, he was impossible to outcompete at the high school level, the college level, and now in the pros.
Right side, Gibson. Mba Amute with the steal. It's deflected. It's stolen by Rose. To the paint, shoots from 12. And it's Butler missing.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
And, Greg, we've seen it time and time again in games. Effort and determination on the glass can make up for a lot of other weaknesses.
Oh, and the jam by Rose.
You might not have expected him to go for the steal there, but boy, oh boy, did it ever work out for him.
Yeah, and I love that. I mean, at this stage of a tight game, all too often teams play not to lose, and they wouldn't be in the lead right now if he hadn't taken a chance there.
And, you know, back to D. Rose for a moment. He drives the lane now as hard as he did before the injuries. It's a level of fearlessness that only a few guys possess. And it's not teachable. You either have it or you don't.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket.
Some of that fearlessness, that competitiveness he exhibits was learned early on out of necessity.
And there's the call on Austin Rivers. That's foul number 2 for him. .132 left in the fourth quarter. And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Bulls.
You know, one of the big stories has been the 3-ball. It's been a key part of their offense throughout the game.
And you've always heard of guys being in a zone shooting, but you can be in a zone passing the basketball, and we've seen that tonight as well.
Los Angeles calls timeout. They're losing by 4. 1:30 left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it looks like he saw some things out there that need to be adjusted, and it's going to take a break here and talk it over.
Hey, you know, coaches sometimes need a break in the action to rethink and retool a bit. Anytime you're in that situation, it makes sense to use the timeout.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. .130 left in the fourth. Prigioni for 3, but they get it back. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. That's on Joakim Noah.
And he's just going all out to get the second chance points. Just a terrific finish.
There was no one that was going to prevent MGA from converting that one.
Well, clearly this is the kind of game that could come down to 1 or 2 plays, and he wants to be the guy to make those plays.
And the deeper we get into this game, it seems like the more the offenses are in rhythm.
Without question. I mean, both of these teams are firing on full broadband bandwidth. Being full throttle ahead.
How about the determination? Now that's what we call competing for a rebound.
Brooks dishes to Noah. Money!
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
Johnson in the corner. They double-team Johnson. Just 5 to shoot. Prigioni, the pass to Reddick. Moore with the block. They retain possession. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And an intentional foul right there. He drops the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 7-point game.
Those foul shots put them that much more in the driver's seat.
Not sure there's anything they can do to salvage this one.
Not anymore. I mean, any chance they had got away from them, slipped right out of their hands.
Gets the first, and that trims the lead to 6.
Shooting for Los Angeles. DeAndre.
Good on both. So at Chicago now, the drive by Noah. He dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
And doing a great job here just stringing together solid possessions as they build that lead up.
I tell you, there's no substitute for consistency, Greg. You know that. I know it. You can stay in control of the game. They'll stay in control of it if they simply stay good with their execution of the game plan and don't waste any possession.
Here's Mirotic. Tries to keep it alive. Out of bounds it is. Last touch by Mirotic.
I've seen crazy stuff happen in this game.
That'll be a 5-second call.
Yeah, you've got to avoid those kinds of turnovers.
Yeah, mistakes like that derail any team.
Brooks, good, and a nice assist from Noah.
How about the inbound pass there? Easy bucket.
Los Angeles calls timeout. They're trailing by 6. 1 second left to play in the final quarter. And so it's Chicago winning this one. A narrow win under difficult circumstances, Greg, as the visiting team.
It really was, but that didn't seem to bother them. I mean, road team, home team, all I know is they were